And as always, we'll go ahead and declare our model at the top of our view. And as we've done for other views, I'm also going to have this container body content, which should probably really be part of our layout at this point, since we are using it as the wrapper for all of our pages. Then we'll have our row section header with a div in it of class section heading. And we'll just say create new forum. Then we'll have a second row. And here we'll have a div ID of create forum section. And now we'll have a form, and this will just be a simple form for actually calling that add forum HTTP post method that's in our forum controller. And remember, since we'll be uploading a file to this potentially, that we need to set the enc type here to multipart / forum data. And so as you would expect, here we'll have a div class form group with a label, ASP4 title, forum title, sorry. This needs to be just label and then ASP4. And then an input, ASP4 title, and we'll give this a class form control and a placeholder, and we'll just say choose forum title. And then we'll have a span ASP validation for title, class, text, danger, and then close the span. Okay, likewise we'll have a similar form group that I'll just paste here. This time for the forum description. And for the placeholder, we can just say, like, write a brief description of the topic, of the forum topic. Okay, and then finally we'll have our upload section to upload an image. And so we'll just have a little message to upload the forum image. And then we'll do our kind of trick to hide the HTML upload form in a button format. Oops, and yeah, we need to make sure this says input space ASP4. Okay, and then finally we'll have our submit button here. Maybe we'll say create forum. Okay. Okay, so that's our create forum view. Let's go ahead and make a commit here for this. And now what we'll go ahead and do is just start up the server. And while that's firing up, what I'm going to do is actually head back to the layout.cshtml file that we have, which is in our views and then our shared directory. And if we scroll down here where we have this section, if user is enroll admin, then we have the ability to head down here to the controller action create in our forum controller, so that looks correct. Just kind of wanted to double check that there. So, okay, so we'll head up into our app and then we'll click sign in, and we'll sign in as the admin. And then if we select settings and create forum, okay, so we have another form that we could style, but at least we have our inputs here. So maybe we'll say something like Linux, and we can say discussions about all things Linux, and then we can browse for an image. And I have some static files here, in the forum directory, and I have a Linux Penguin here in the static files of the application, so we'll go ahead and grab this, and then we'll select Create Forum. Okay, and it looks like what happened is we got redirected to a typo here because we redirected to add form rather than forum. So let's just go back and we'll click Home, and then we'll click on Forums, and it looks like we didn't actually post the new forums. Let's go ahead and debug that issue very quickly. So we'll come back and then we'll head over into our forum controller, and it looks like we should be redirecting to forum. So let's take a look also on our create page here. So it wasn't the redirect, it was actually the ASP action. So of course this should be the add forum action, which would also explain perhaps why the forum itself didn't post. So now that we fixed that, what I'm going to do is go back to our forum controller, and I'm just going to set a breakpoint here, and we should confirm that that's working now. Okay, so I'll sign in. And then we'll go to Create Forum, we'll say Linux, and we'll browse and find the image of the Linux Penguin again, and then go ahead and hit Create. So we're now in our post method. We can see that we've passed a model to the method where we have the image upload in the form of our iForum file. And we can see like the headers on it and the content type as well. So I'm going to hit F10 here and just head through this. And so it looks like that it uploaded it to our cloud storage. And so now we have an image URI that we can use. And so I'll just hit F5 here. And now we're running into the fact that we didn't actually fill out the create method in our forum service. So let's go take care of that. So we'll head down into our forum service and create this very simple create method. In which case we're just actually going to call context.addForum, and then we'll go ahead and make this async. And then we can await context.saveChanges async. All right, cool. While we're down here, what we can do is also fill out the delete task. Although we won't explicitly be implementing it, it may be something that you'd like to actually allow admin users to do in your application. And for this, we can call context.remove. We can pass it a forum instance, which we can get back from this ID. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a commit. And we'll go ahead and start the server again and try this again. So we'll sign in. And we'll go ahead and create a forum. And I'm just going to hit F5 here. Okay, so we get redirected to our list, and then we can indeed see the forum here at the bottom of our forums list. So it looks like we're not actually getting the image back from Azure here. So I'd like to go ahead and visit the Azure portal and see if we can determine what's happening here. Okay, so we're at the Azure portal, and so what we need to find now is the storage account associated with the application we're working on. So I'll click on that here. And I can see that we have our profile images bucket, but I can see also that it only contains the user images, which we indeed uploaded in a previous video, but I don't see a reference to the image that we just attempted to upload from our forum post. So there are a few things that I want to do here. First of all, let's go back to the storage account. And I'm going to create a second container anyway, and we're going to call it forum-images, and we'll make it blob access. And so this is just an empty storage container now. And then what I'm going to do is head back into our code, so I'll stop the server. And now what I think I'd like to do is actually just slightly modify the getBlobContainer method that's on our upload service. So we'll head over to the interface where we define this signature, and what we're going to do is pass a connection string, and we're also going to pass a container name. And then in the implementation of this method in our upload service, if we head to our upload service class, what I'm going to do is, of course, implement this properly now with a string container name, and we'll go ahead and set that here. And so then in our profile controller, we'll go ahead and edit the getBlobContainer in order to add this profile images string, and so then our profile images will be uploaded here. In our case, there's going to be used in two places, so I'm just going to pass strings in this case. So profiles will have the profile images container name, and then in our forum controller, we'll pass in a string forum images. And so these correspond to the two container names that are in our storage account. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do here is that since we're uploading from a stream async, what I'm going to do is just call wait here. And so now we'll wait to be sure that this upload gets processed before we return the block blob to our add forum method here. So let's go ahead and give this a second try. What I'm going to do is open up SQL Server, and we'll connect back to our database, and I'll just right click and write a new query, and we'll select star from forums, and then I'll simply delete from forums where ID is equal to this 1002 number here, and that which corresponds to the Linux forum that we just created. And you can see that it also contains this URI for the image URL that we attempted to upload. So we'll run this, and then we'll select star from forums. And so yeah, you can see that now the Linux forum that we attempted to create earlier is gone. And what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and check to see if this resolves our issue or if we have some more debugging to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And then we'll go ahead and create a forum. And we'll recreate our Linux forum. Okay, so let's try to create. And so I'm going to set a breakpoint here on upload forum image. And we'll hit F5. And so now we're down here and we have the file, which is our linux.png. So I'm going to hit F10 and F10. So we have a valid connection string, F10. We have a valid reference to a container. And so F10 to get the content disposition from the header. And then we get our file name, which is linux.png. And then we get our block blob, which looks like it gets populated. And then we're going to call this upload from stream async and wait. Okay. And so we've returned this block blob. What I'd like to do also now is head over into Azure and click on forum images. And yeah, now I can see that we have our linux.png file here in our forum images. So if I hit F5 here to just complete everything, and then we head back to our page, we can see that we have the Linux forum created. And if I click here, we can now see that we indeed have the logo showing up. Okay, so just a little bit of debugging there, but it seems to have resolved our issue.